It's the Minding My Temple podcast, and we're back for another episode. I'm your host, Tasha Temple. Yes, it's another episode. I'm excited for this one because we're talking about one of my favorite topics, which is traveling. Yes. So at Minding My Temple, I created this platform to talk about how to live a balanced life. And I like to specifically focus on 4 pillars, right? Those 4 pillars are meals, movement, mindfulness, and migrate. So this episode is going to be all about migrate. Yes, sometimes I talk to you guys way too much about meals, way too much about movements, way too much about mindfulness. So this time we're going to jump into some really fun stuff and we're going to talk about traveling. So first and foremost, we have to do my favorite segment called Minding My Business. Okay? I like this segment because it gives me an opportunity to share with you guys what I'm up to in my life. And it's also an opportunity for me to talk about how important self-care and doing things for yourself and having fun, how important that is. So it also helps me to be mindful that I need to make sure that I'm doing things for myself every week and having fun. So over the past week, I've been traveling way more than I'd like to, because not all the travel has been fun, but a lot of it has been. So first I'll start with the fun travel, which I went to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Oh my God. I know everybody's talking about Tulum and, and Cabo, but you know what? I went to Puerto Vallarta and had a magical time. So if you want to see all about my travels, all you got to do is go to my Instagram page at Minding My Temple and check it out. I'll be posting over the next few weeks all about what I did, all about what I didn't do, all about what I ate, all about what I drank, all about all the opportunities I had to take just cute little pictures and nature. Just check it out. It's going to give you a lot of information. And guess what? Puerto Vallarta is actually pretty cool. Yes, yes, yes. And that doesn't mean you can't go to Tulum and all those other places, because trust me, I'm going there. But it was really nice. So check it out. Now, in addition to my traveling to Puerto Vallarta, I also went home for the weekend. And home for me is Charlotte, North Carolina, Queen City. And also this upcoming week, I will be traveling to the Final Four in New Orleans. So in the past, I think 2 weeks, I would have been to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I would have been to Mexico City because that's where my layover was. I would have gone to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then now to New Orleans, Louisiana. And so that's a lot. So I like to stay on track. And so I figured if I'm traveling a lot of you guys out there are also traveling a lot or are going to be traveling, I thought it would be important to talk about how to continue to stay balanced while you're traveling. So I'll give you guys a little bit of information about what I did during my Puerto Vallarta trip, because I never have ever done this before, okay? Usually on vacation, I just kind of go with the flow, do whatever. But this trip, I actually made an intention to do my best to stick with my schedule, because one thing I noticed that when I'm traveling, I kind of get all crazy with drinking and eating, and then my stomach gets all upset, and then I have a hard time using the bathroom, and then I don't look cute in my bathing suits because my stomach be looking all big. I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. And then I come home like pounds heavier and just feeling sluggish and tired. I'm like, I don't want to go on vacation and continuously to feel worse when I get back, or then not feel comfortable in my pictures while I'm there because I'm bloated, because I'm eating things I don't normally eat, or drinking more than I should, or, like all of that stuff comes into play. So this time when I visited Puerto Vallarta, it was more of a relaxing trip. I went with my mom and my auntie and my cousin. And so I was like, you know what, let me do some things differently and see how it goes. And it worked out really well. So this is what I did when I traveled this time. So I decided that I was gonna do my best to keep the same time frame or same schedule. And so I don't ever, and I'm telling you guys, I am not one of those people who likes to work out on vacation. I have never worked out on vacation in my entire life. And I am also one of those friends that I tell my other friends when they want to work out, I'm like, I'm not bringing up workout clothes. I do not work out on vacation. But I got to eat my words, because this time around I took some workout clothes, not to be cute, but to actually work out in. and I worked out. Every day I was there. Crazy, right? So what I did was I got up at 6 a.m. I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous me even saying it because I'm not a morning person. I'm such a night person. I didn't even know what got into me, right? So, and I'm not saying you have to get up at 6 a.m. I'm just simply telling you my experience because it's really more about the fact that I tried something different and I actually liked it. So what I did was I got up at 6 a.m. in the morning every day. The first thing I did was I went to go turn on my hot water because that's what I do. I drink hot water with a lemon and a cinnamon stick every morning. I promise you guys, I know this is going to be TMI, but it gets the bowels moving. All right? So if you're on vacation and you want to look cute in that bathing suit, you want to go ahead and empty out everything in the morning time. All right? So I got up and turned my little hot water on. So guess what I also did? I purchased a little hot thermos on Amazon. And it's portable. So like, even if you're a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, it's great for that. But I like hot water. And so you put the water in this little heated thermos and it heats up the water in literally like 2 minutes and the water stays hot, like hot, hot, hot. And so I got up, fixed my water. Then I would do my little meditation. Yes, I do my little meditation in the morning. I do that even when I'm not on vacation, but I wanted to see if I could stick with my same routine. So I did my little meditation. For those of you guys who are wondering what kind of meditation do, I use the Oprah and Deepak 21-day meditation series. There are several of them. There's one on grace. There's one on, dieting. There's one on, manifestation. There's so many different topics they have. And, this one I was listening to, I think The Secrets to Success or something like that. But in the morning, I would get up and play it. They talk through it. There's also a moment to have silent meditation where there is no talking, and it's about 20 minutes. So I would put that on. And once that was over, I would drink my water because it was cool enough to drink at this point. And then after that, I would put my workout clothes and go on my balcony to work out. So I'm working out with the palm trees and all of that jazz and the ocean breeze as the sun is coming up. And I did a workout like a regular, I looked on YouTube. I do sometimes these people called Juice and Toya. So if you guys are ever looking for like quick 30-minute strength power workouts or cardio workouts, you can go to YouTube. This is a shameless plug. I don't know them. I'm not promoting, them like that because this is not an ad. It's just something I really do and I really like using. And so I go to Juice and Toya and maybe do their 30-minute thing. Or I do this exercise called a Power 50. One of my really good friends came up with this Power 50 workout. And so, it's like a superset of stuff. I'll give it to you guys. Check me out on Instagram. I'll make sure I'll post it for you guys in case you're wondering like what Power 50 means. It's just a superset of like cardiovascular and strength-based activities in a superset. So I'll give you an example. So you start at 50, and for every exercise you go down. So like for the first exercise, I did mountain climbers. So I did 50 mountain climbers and then 50 squats. And then for 45, I did 45 high knees, and then I did 45 some kind of core exercise. So I did like bicycles. And then I did 40 jumping jacks, and then I did 40 push-ups. And you do those 3 sets until you get down to 5 essentially. And when I got to 5, instead of doing the superset with a mountain climber or a jumping jack or a high knee, I did burpees. Yeah. And it only took me about 12 to 15 minutes. And so it wasn't that much. And, one day I decided to take a walk after I did that. Another day I decided to do yoga afterwards. And then another day I did a Juice and Toya. And so I felt really good about that. So by the time I was finished with my workout, it was time for breakfast. Perfect, right? I can now get on with my day. The sun is up, it's early. I can just get the whole day to enjoy Puerto Vallarta. And so after that, I felt great. I was like, I might have a new vacation regimen. Because I realized, me being a night person, I kind of tend to get up late when I'm on vacation, so 11, 12, so the day's gotten past me. And I also like to get into the sun. I like to lay on the beach. I like to lay at the pool. And so I realized I had way more time to chill. So at breakfast, I had time to like sit there and have my mimosas and talk, and I didn't feel rushed to get to the next place. And so all I'm saying is to mind my business that I think I'm going to take a different approach to how I vacation, because I actually ended up coming home feeling rested. I felt good. I felt energized. And who knew, right? Just trying something new. So this prompted me to want to talk to you guys about finding balance while on vacation, because there's this saying that you got to take a vacation from your vacation when you get back from vacation to feel good, all that stuff. I want you to go on vacation and come back and feel good from that one vacation. Okay, so I've got some tips for you today that you can implement. You could take which ones you think are going to work really well for you, and the ones that you don't think are going to work well for you, great, but just note to try something new like I did, okay? Because again, you never know what's going to work out for you until you do it, right? So here's some points. Keep a schedule. I know it sounds stupid, like on vacation, you want to kind of just like come and go. And when I say keep a schedule, I'm not saying keep a schedule. I'm saying do your best to try to stay close to the schedule that you are at home. And so if you're a morning person, get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like still have a time frame you want to get up by so that you're not so off once you come home. Like you don't want to be staying up till 5 a.m. and you don't normally stay up till 5 a.m. So do your best to kind of keep a schedule and not like things to do at 1 o'clock and then we got to be here at 3 o'clock and then we got to be here at 5 o'clock. But do your best to, as far as like waking up, going to sleep, and eating, try to keep those times the same. Now, your body likes consistency. If you think about it, take yourself back to being a child. Children work great when they're on a schedule. So when they have, meals at a certain time and they have sleep at a certain time, their bodies work like clockwork and they work regular. When that schedule goes awry, kids are having a temper tantrum. Your body does the same thing. Whenever you're off a schedule, your body throws a temper tantrum. Here's an example, and I'll just give you a personal example. I know, again, TMI, but when I'm out of town, again, like I eat things I don't typically and normally eat. I may not drink as much water. I may not move as often. And so a lot of times it's hard for me to use the restroom or use the bathroom. And so that's my body throwing a temper tantrum. So pay attention to those things, or my body tends to retain water a lot more. So I find myself bloated, which, that ain't cute when you're on vacation and want to put on a bathing suit. You know what I mean? Or wear like a tight dress to dinner. That ain't cute. And so I noticed those things were happening to me while I was on vacation. So I was like, this is my body throwing a temper tantrum. So pay attention to those things. And so maybe keeping that schedule that you have when you're at home, as far as like, okay, I eat breakfast between like an 8 and 10. I'm going to have lunch between like a 12 and 2. I'm going to have dinner between like 8 and 10 at night. And I'm going to try to make sure I get up, within reasonable time that I get up at home, and try to go to bed within reasonable time that I do at home. That's my suggestion about a schedule. That's number 1, okay? Number 2, this is important. It actually should have been number 1. But point number 2 is you gotta stay hydrated. You gotta drink water. Here's why water goes out the window when we're on vacation. It's because the liquor is replacing the water, because we're drinking a whole lot more on vacation. And so when we're drinking alcohol, we don't drink as much water because the alcohol leaves us feeling full and there's really not a lot of space for the water. Or you know what? Sometimes when we're out of town, we just don't remember to pick up the water because, water bottles when you're on vacation are expensive, y'all. You could pay like $5 for a bottle of water. Like, what are we doing out here? So you got to make sure you stay hydrated. It's going to help you handle that alcohol, because you can't move that alcohol through your system without having some water, okay? So here's the recommendation for water. It's always going to be the same, you guys. It's always going to be half your body weight in ounces. Example, if I weigh 200 pounds, I divide that in half, which gives me 100 ounces of water daily. What I do is I take a water bottle with me. My water bottle is a 32-ounce water bottle, and I try to drink at least 2 of those, in addition to drinking water at the meals when it comes, to the table, and then I drink my water in the morning. So I at least get 80 to 90 ounces of water on vacation. I try to drink a little more because, trust me, I'm drinking, okay? Now, when you're drinking, Do your best to pace yourself so your body can metabolize 1 ounce of alcohol per every 1 hour. So if I drink 5 ounces of alcohol in an hour, it's going to take my body 5 hours to process that. So imagine if I'm doing that every hour. You're going to end up drunk. Or worse, right? And so be mindful to pace yourself. I love a good day drinking because it gives you time to actually process the alcohol. So that's why I love vacation, because I start drinking at like 10 a.m. And so if I have 1 ounce of alcohol every hour, it keeps me buzzed, but then I give my body an opportunity to move that stuff through along with the water. Here's another catch. When you have alcohol with a whole lot of different syrups and juices and all that stuff that they like to give you on vacation, a lot of times it makes it more difficult to move the liquor through, and you end up having a worse hangover. I know that's terrible, right? Because you're like, I love those little fruity drinks on vacation. However, your best bet is to do your best to find alcoholic beverages that have limited options or limited juice or limited sweetener. So my favorite drink on vacation is simply a white liquor. I like to drink white liquor because it's better for my body. So I drink either gin. Yes, I said gin. I love some gin, y'all. It's so refreshing. Or since I was in Mexico, I was drinking tequila. So I drink tequila with lime. So I get fresh lime and I squeeze all the lime inside the tequila. And then I also do maybe a splash of water. And that's all I do. Yeah, pretty straight up. Pretty straightforward. Yup, that's how I do. But just be mindful about your beverages. Okay? All right. So in addition to that, let's talk about food. So for food, it's really important to make sure you do eat 3 meals a day. That's so you don't overeat. The food when we're on vacation is always so good, right? We always end up overeating. And I've said to you guys numerous times that when you overfill the tank, that's when we get into a little trouble, right? So just like your car, when you overfill the gas tank, it's a waste. And so even though the food tastes really, really yummy and it's really, really good and we want to try everything, you got to still remember to not overfill the tank, because then that's when you're going to find yourself gaining a lot of weight on vacation. So the reason why I'm encouraging you to do 3 meals a day is so that you can break up the food, so you're not overfilling the tank, and then you still get an opportunity to try everything. You can eat more food with 3 meals than you can with 2, technically, if we're not overfilling the tank. So I would encourage making sure you have breakfast, making sure you have lunch, and making sure you have dinner. And guess what? I don't care what kind of food you choose to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. There's really no such thing as breakfast food, lunch food, and dinner food. Once your food gets past your little throat here, all your body knows is it has food. It doesn't know oh, it's breakfast time, I should have pancakes and waffles. That's not at all what your body knows. So if you want to try something that you would normally have for dinner, for breakfast, try it. When I went to Mexico, again, I had tamales for breakfast and quesadillas for breakfast. And so I decided that I wanted to eat the local cuisine, which is really also important. That's another point I want to make. If you are out of the country, get local cuisine. I know a lot of times we stay on resorts and that food can be very much what we have here. And it's really what's the experience? And so I tell people, let's have a good experience. Let's eat the food that's local. And I will tell you one thing in my experience. In my experience of traveling, I noticed that local food has a lot less preservatives and additives than the food we have here in our country. So it feels lighter when you eat it. So you don't feel as full and stuffed and weighed down and tired after you eat local cuisine. There are some places, of course, you want to be mindful and be careful of, but I will be honest, I am one of those people who try stuff out, and I'll eat street food when I'm out of the country. Just saying. When I went to Jamaica, I definitely ate food off the street. It was the best freaking jerk chicken I've ever had in my entire life. It was the best experience ever. I actually did it twice. And again, in Mexico, I had food on the street. I'm not gonna say on the street, but I'm just saying outside of my resorts. I had a whole fish dinner where I had different types of fish cooked differently, and shrimp and lobster. And it was definitely like a local based restaurant up in like the hills and the woods. It was amazing. So get out of the resort if you're staying on a resort. Try the local cuisine. I know it can be scary, but definitely try it. It's gonna make you feel so much better. You can have food that's not gonna, make you feel heavy. And again, like I said, I feel like because their food is more fresh, here in the United States, a lot of our food has been processed, it is laden with preservatives, additives, and all that stuff takes a toll on our body. So if you have an opportunity to get some really fresh local food, get it. Get it. And remember to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you're wondering what should be on your plate when you're out of town or out of the country, you're still going to follow the plate method. You're still going to make sure that you have that 3 or 4 section plate. I personally like to do a 3-section plate. So what I do is I divide my plates into 3 sections. So I have 1 big half and 2 quarters. And in one of that quarter, look, I can't even talk. In one of those quarters, you're gonna put protein or whatever meat you're having. And another quarter, you're gonna put like whatever carbohydrate you're deciding on. And that could be any kind of grain like rice, pasta, bread. It can be a starchy vegetable like potato, peas, beans, corn. It can be fruit, it can be dairy, or it can be sweets, because I do love my sweets, and sometimes I like to substitute my my grain for like chocolate cake. And then you have some vegetables. If you're traveling, trust me, you're gonna always find some really, really great fresh vegetables. I feel like we're the only country that doesn't really eat vegetables like that. But anywhere I've ever been, I've had no problem getting really, really tasty, really good, and really seasoned, nice vegetables. So just continue to follow the plate method at your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right. Now, another thing I wanted to encourage is moving. So I talked to you guys about me incorporating exercise in my last travel experience. And I would really encourage like moving a lot. Like if you're going to a beach, walk the beach. If you're going to somewhere that doesn't have a beach, get out in the town and kind of, explore and walk. Do your best to move. When you're moving around while you're traveling, you get to see a lot more of this, the countryside. And then again, you get those steps in, you get that exercise in. And the reason why I'm encouraging you also to exercise is because we're eating and drinking a whole lot more calories while we're on vacation. So to burn some of those calories off, you need to move. You don't necessarily have to do a whole workout like I did on vacation, but do your best to get in more steps than usual, okay? When we're at home, we're on the computers, we're typing, we're sitting down a lot. So if you get an opportunity to move around, to see what that country has to offer, to see what that new city has to offer, get up, move, walk around, all right? So that's move. You also want to do another thing. If it's summertime, wear sunscreen. Yes, I'm an African American woman. You're probably thinking, why in the world would you be wearing sunscreen? Because we still need to be protected for the sun. These UV rays ain't playing with us out here, y'all. It's global warming, okay? I don't know how effective that, what they call it, UV layer, or what do they call that, ozone layer. I don't know how effective that is these days. And so you do want to protect your skin. So find your really good sunscreen. I'll tell you guys all about the one that I use. But however, just make sure you stay protected in regards to, your skin, even if you are African American, all right? So put it on if you're gonna be laying out by the pool. Make sure you put it on while you are, laying out on the beach. And let me give you a little tidbit about that number, that SPF number. That means that you have to apply it every amount of minutes that's on the bottle. So for instance, if you get SPF 50, that means you should be reapplying it every 50 minutes. It doesn't mean like it's necessarily stronger than the 30. It just means you can wear it longer than the 30, okay? So you can't just put on the sunscreen one time and think you're protected all day long. And yes, you guys, us as African American people, we can still get sunburned. And you guys do know that sunburn and that sun can lead to skin cancer. And I can personally attest to Black people, African American people getting skin cancer, sorry. And I've known some people who've had it. And so just be mindful to take care of your skin while you're traveling, all right? That's mainly what I have. So remember, you want to make sure you kind of stick to a schedule. That's number one. You want to drink water. Drink your water. Take a water bottle with you if you have to. And here's another tip about water. Buy water from a local store. You guys know that they try to charge you an arm and a leg for bottled water at resorts and hotels. So do your best to maybe buy a case of water at your local, little store, or if you can get it at duty free at the airport, but buy your water prior to, getting caught up and getting, having to pay for it at the hotel, because that can get really expensive, especially if you want to spend your money on your alcohol. And also, here's a tip for your alcohol. This is what I do. So I do not buy alcohol at my resorts unless it's like, one of those all-inclusive resorts. However, if I'm at a hotel that does not have liquor included, I buy my own liquor from duty free. Yes. And then I just take it with me wherever I go in a little water bottle. So when I get to the restaurants, I just ask for a little rocks glass with a couple of cubes of ice and some limes, and I make my own drink. Because you guys, I'm on a budget, and I like to travel on a budget. And the reason I get to travel as often and as much as I do is because I'm mindful about my spending. And I'm not spending $10 on a drink. And I may have 10 of them a day. That's $100. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So I buy my little, my little alcohol from duty free, put it in my little flask or my little small water bottle, and I just keep it pushing. And I'm just going to be honest, because I want you guys to be able to save on your pocketbook while you're traveling, okay? So make sure if you are drinking that you limit yourself to 1 ounce per hour. And just so you know, guys, 1 ounce is a shot glass. So if you're not sure what that looks like, just go buy you one and take it with you in your little purse or in your little pocket while you're walking around on vacation. You want to make sure you eat 3 meals a day, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and try local cuisine. You want to make sure you stick with the plate method while you're eating. You want to move while you're on vacation, and make sure you wear that sunscreen. And most of all, have fun. Have a really good time. And if you want to learn more about my travels, more about what I do while I'm on vacation, because let me tell you guys, I've also do this on a budget. Oh, one last thing. If breakfast is expensive where you are, here's one thing I always encourage. Take breakfast with you. So sometimes I take like a little shake with me, or sometimes I cook and boil some eggs ahead of time and take that with me. Just in case I'm at a place that has a super expensive breakfast, I take it with me, just so you know. That's just another little tidbit I have for you. But in the meantime, if you ever have any questions about my travels, what I do while I'm traveling, how do I stay on a budget while I'm traveling, just reach out to me. I can be found on Instagram at Minding My Temple. And if you want to send me an email, you can send me an email at findbalance@mindingmytemple.com. And for everything you need to know about meals, movement, mindfulness, and migrate, you can just check me out here on the Minding My Temple podcast every week. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you again for tuning in. I love y'all. Happy travels.